Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Bars and Bells with bad hair. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren with the good hair.
The good hair. Ooh, there we go. So welcome to our weekend workout. This is the time to play with your strength. We'll check in with the body, the head, the neck, the core, the wrists, and we'll assemble those skills to play with your strength in perhaps the handstand. But if that's a scary word, stay with us. We'll build progressions to get there.
All you need is this. And some space.
And this. And maybe a clear wall, as we'll climb that wall today to build endurance and familiarity with that upside down position. I'll take care of that head and neck. Lauren will take care of that low body. Let's get started. With the chin tuck in, stand nice and tall in a position comfortable for you. And at the head and neck, start with the extension and flexion. Extension is looking up towards the ceiling. Again, small ranges are great here. And the chin tuck is that flexion shape, chin towards the sternum. Repeat one more time, extension looking up, and then chin tuck looking down, and reset just a little bit up on the horizon. Then keeping the chin in the same position, laterally bend on the neck, that's an ear to shoulder, and then middle, and then ear to shoulder the other side. Repeating again, small ranges for the win again, as we breathe into that with control. And it is the morning, but hopefully it doesn't sound like Rice Krispies too much in the neck. Let's take that same two patterns through the rib cage. Hands across the body with the shoulders retracted. Let's just pick up with the lateral bend first. Sideways bending, back up to tall. Repeat again, sideways bending, and back up to tall. Breathe. Keep it small and keep that tip over the hips. Avoid spilling out over your base of support. Then it's a little bit more discreet, but it's that flexion extension front and back. So it might start with a gentle chin tuck and then a flexion shape through the rib cage towards the hips. Then pull down on those abs to lift up through that rib cage or T-spine. Repeating again, a gentle chin tuck, shoulders retract and we flex down and find those abs as we pull down to lift up. Lastly, it's the rotation, and we'll come back to the head first, and then coordinate that with the rib cage. So, hands across body, shoulders retract. I'm going to be looking to my right towards Lauren. Then my head stays in the same place as I then turn my torso to catch up with where my head's at. Then go head center, then the rib cage follow. Repeat, head to the left or the other side for you. Keep your head stable, turn the shoulders. Head center, body follow, and one last time, head neck. Keep the head stable, breathe in that rotation, reset the head middle, the body will follow, and last time, rotation. Then the rotation through that mid-back, return to center, and through. Lauren was doing such a good job with those hips forward, I forgot to mention it, but keep those hips forward so it's that stable place to rotate your torso around it. One last thing for me, just a little gentle shoulder, and we'll kick it right over to Lauren. Low effort, elevate the shoulders, and try to touch your sidelines. That might not be possible based on your angles, but just gently try to suck into that straw. Then low effort down. Keep your hands at that sideline and round the shoulders forward as to protract. Then lightly retract, but avoid a rib cage flare. So keep the rib cage down as you retract. Then gently from there, make fists with the fingers. Then flex on the wrists, knuckles forward. Then gently do the biceps curl and have the knuckles pointing up to the sky. Elevate the shoulders, that's useful for our handstand. Then pull down, and then flex the shoulder, meaning elbow tips forward, and continue to pull apart that imaginary rope between the hands. Reset the elbows to the ribs, then fingers lead this action first as we open up the hand, open up the wrist, extend on the elbow, and squeeze the shoulders together. Avoid the rib cage flare. And then reach towards behind you. That extension on the shoulder this direction will help us go in that overhead. Make a fist one last time. Make a wrist bend one more time. Flex on that elbow, last one. Then elbows down, elbow tips up, and something a little bit different today, just very gently go towards that overhead position. And as Lauren's showing here, we want to make sure that the muscles bust out of that t-shirt first, but then that the elbows or those arms can get in line with your ear. making sure you have those requisites for mobility, and then we'll continue to play with our strength. So with those hands up, you got it, Lauren. Just bring them right back down to that rack position. Extend the elbows, shake and wiggle. Take it over.
Excellent. We'll take it to the legs here. So let's take our legs into a hinge position, feet just slightly wider than your hips, and gently chop your hips back, sending both hips to the back wall, nice long spine. Look down. Are all your toes heavy on the floor? Good. Now, from here, light hands on knees, hands on thighs, hands on wherever, how long your arms are. Gently tuck under that low back, or think ribs to hips, so a light round through that low pelvis, and then slowly tipping the tailbone back towards the ceiling. Let's do this 2 more times. As you tuck under, think abs, 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 and then slowly driving the femur heads towards the ceiling. 1 more time each way. We're trying to keep that upper body fairly stationary here. And then back to that slight tip. Doesn't have to be extreme, just slight. Push down and up to stand up tall. Next, we'll step those feet a little narrower. We'll go into our first forward fold. So with our arms in our T-Rex position or across our chest, as that keeps our blades together, let's slowly initiate this movement with the chin tuck. Then it's rounding through the upper back, but keeping your shoulder blades together. So we're rounding through the upper back, our belly button's pulled in. We're getting up and over here, taking your time as you come down, keeping that weight shifted in the forefoot so that we're not sitting back in those heels. We're flexed over top of our hips. You can now let your arms go and dangle, and let's just breathe here for a couple seconds. Maybe you bend one knee and straighten the other. Breathe. And now we're going to bend the knees, come on down, peel the heels up off the floor, and just roll through to a soft landing on those knees. Next, we'll extend the hips. We'll do 1 quick lunge each side because it feels so good. Let's go 1 leg forward. Next, let's send that back hip forward. So squeeze your back butt cheek, push down on that front leg, and we'll just drift 1 to the front, and then press yourself back up to tall, extending the back hip, holding for a couple seconds, and then relax. Same thing, other side. Next leg comes up, you're in that lunge position, fairly vertical front shin, back toe is tucked or pointed, hip is extended, push down with the front leg, pull on it, lightly drifting forward, and then press yourself back up to tall. We'll take those legs underneath us and we'll make our way down to those splits.
Ooh, nice.
We'll start in that V position split. So, because we're in handstand class, let's point our toes. We're sitting up nice and tall, light grip on the floor, hands behind you if you need some extra support, but try to sit on those butt cheeks and keep that anterior tip of the hip. Next, let's take a leg and let's rotate one leg open, trying to rotate the inseam towards the ceiling. Then, without hiking or moving that hip, try to roll in on that leg. Differentiate between rolling in and out one more time on that leg from the ankle or rolling in and out from that big thigh bone. And then back to center.
Thigh bone gets me every time.
Thigh bone.
Thigh bone.
I think of my delicious, what's that soup called?
Split
pea soup.
Split pea. We're in our splits.
Anyway, yeah, it is. It is. So we're rotating in one more time. We're rotating out on that second leg. And then we're rotating in. And then we'll come back to center. Kneecaps up. Oh, maybe that gave you a little more room there. Kneecaps up, maybe slightly turned out. And then we'll just lightly walk in a more forward position here, being towards our pancake. Try to keep your spine extended here versus just like, oh, look how far I can go. No, you can't. You're faking that. Extended chest. Now, one last move from here as we stay nice and extended, hands in front or behind. Keep the toes pointed. Let's pull a heel towards us. Pull, 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 pull. That might cause your knee to bend, but don't move your heel. Just try to bend the knee without moving the heel. Hold for 3, 2, and then straighten the leg again. Maybe give that a little more wiggle open. Let's save that leg and go the other side. Other side. Pull on that heel. Bend the knee, but don't let the heel move, but pull it on the floor for 3, 2, and then gently straighten. One last time each side. Bend first leg. Pull it in, like you're trying to drive that leg into its socket or the knee up to the ceiling, and then back down. Wiggle it open. Last one, drag, pull, point your toes, pull, pull, pull for 3, 2, and then straighten. Wiggle 1 last millimeter open, 1 more pancake with maple syrup. And then
I thought it was me who just made bad pancake
press.
jokes there, but
I know it's rubbed off on me.
it's good. It's good. What about those hands?
Oh, yeah,
That was a pretty light way to approach those hands there and that wrist extension. As handstands get a little heavier and crawls before that, what should we do here, Lauren?
Well, you should come to flip to all fours and place your hands nice and open on the floor. Let's check in. All of your fingers are heavy, your shoulders are out of your ears, and you've rotated those elbow pits or those blood donations so far forward. You have the straightest elbows right now, and you're not going to bend them. You're not going to bend them, and you're going to pretend or try to lift your pinkies. And then you're going to pretend or try to lift your ring fingers. And then try to lift your middle fingers. And lift your index fingers. And lift your thumb fingers. Those ones might actually work. And then push them all heavy. Straighten your elbows. Drift forward into that shoulder extension. Use your fingers to press yourself back. And one more time. Pull forward in that wrist extension. Trying to get shoulders over top of wrists, which we need for our handstands. And then fingers push back. Press the palms away. Flick the floor away. And give that a little shaky shake. I like to do one more because sometimes things happen in our handstand and we have to step out. So let's rotate those wrists all the way around so they're ready just in case. Fingers down and then full palms. Shoulders are out of your ears. Hands grip the floor. Gently sitting back. Breathing. Taking your time. All 10 fingers are heavy again. Elbows are straight. Shoulders are down. Now bend the elbows. And then slowly peel the palms away from the floor. Oh, look, when our sizes sit.
Excellent. Let's get back up to standing here through Lauren's sizes sit. But maybe put your hands on your butt cheeks first. And can you squeeze your butt cheeks together? Could you squeeze one at a time? But no matter what you do, encourage those hips and glutes to extend and then tuck the toes. Make sure the wall isn't too close behind you there, that your space is safe. And then let's move towards those tippy toes right away. On those tippy toes, stay there for a loud and stand up. Nice and tall and hold our first balance. And then slowly return to the floor. And engage maybe just a little bit of a shake. We'll practice some of those other balances here today, including even just standing on one foot, with a balance aid at the side if you need. Improving your awareness on the feet will translate into success working on those hands. Let's get back down on the floor and get one more little warm up before we crawl around for the core, that hollow hold. I'll take us to the floor and Lauren will take over that core because I shake and I quiver when I do it, and Lauren can speak over that because she's strong. So let's pull our knees over those toes. Then the heels slowly lift up, and slower is harder. So take your time coming down. Then those knees get to the floor. We extend those hips with the glute squeeze. Let's just point those toes out the back. Sit on your heels one more time. And then it's a little inefficient because we'll go back up and change, but squeeze your butt cheeks. Keep feeling those glutes get work and extend to tall. And then Lauren, let's get to the back.
Yes, let's flip to that hollow position. So we'll progress this position nice and slow. Feel free to stop at any point and stay where you are. First position is we're lying on our back and our chin is trying to be tucked. Our chin is lightly tucked, our arms are at our side, palms up. We have a little mouse house underneath our back, meaning our back is neutral and we're not trying to shove our low back into the floor. Maintaining that little mouse underneath us, let's first lift our head and shoulders off the floor by connecting our ribs to our hips. Hold. Maybe this is where you stay. If you'd like to add on, lift a single leg up. And then you could alternate that. 1 and 1. If you're ready for more, lift both legs up, keeping them bent. We could then extend one leg away from center and back. And the other leg away from center and back. Now we could extend both legs away and hold. Legs tight together, squeeze your butt cheeks, point your toes. If we want to take it to the final step here, those arms will come towards overhead and we'll breathe and hold for 5, 4. If I picked you up, you'd go into a handstand. 3, 2, arms back to center, gently relax. Oh.
We'll do that one more time, but until then, let's just get back to that all fours position on the hands, but set up a little bit wider. So that Y stance or a wide stance with the hands.
Here too.
You can just lie there. What I'm gonna do is enjoy a nice little gentle roll. So with my hands set up in that wide position, I'd take a single hand, turn the palm up, and place it near the knee or the hip. Then look to the opposite armpit. Gently, gently encourage the shoulder to get to the floor in a rolling pattern. And then press through the hand, establish the wide stance again, and repeat. So in Lauren's move there, that hollow hold, we're embracing that stiffness, that core tension being tight. In this one, you might not always be so tight in that handstand and you need to be supple to move out. So encourage your body to be strong and supple. Take a breath. Repeat again. Let's just do that one last time. Chin tuck. Breathe. And again, if the shoulder does or approaches the floor, maybe take an extra breath there. And come on back. Whew. I love that move. And I love the progressions that can get us to, but we'll save those for another day. One more time on that core hold, because I know my handstands are better when I warm up that core.
So come onto your back. Let's find your safest, hardest extension right away and try to hold it for the 20 or 30 seconds here. So wherever you are, palms are up, chin is tucked. We'll go ribs to hips first, and then maybe both legs lift off and hold. Maybe both legs extend and hold, and ultimately both arms towards overhead. I'm using a real timer here, so it's not a fake 20 seconds, but we're reaching out those pointed toes. We're keeping our legs tight. We're breathing underneath the quiver, even though we're all quivering. For 5, squeeze your butt cheeks more. Ribs to hips. 3, straighten your elbows. 2, point your toes. Bring it all back in, and then relax. Oh.
Love it. We're flipping back over to that plank position.
So nice.
And that
here.
3-point down dog shape that again is reminiscent or a little bit familiar of that handstand.
You go ahead, sorry. I have to fix my hair.
Fixing that gorgeous
Born
hair.
with the good hair.
Okay, so Lauren cued us up to have wide open hands on the ground. Then spin those blood donations forward and establish your high planks position. Gently tip your tailbone to the ceiling, but then scoop it under like Lauren had us in the hinge, and then pull yourself forward, extending on the wrist. Then flick a toe, push the floor forward with the hands, and approach that 3-point down dog stance, but stay square. Then pull the hands to the feet. Whoops, don't spill that. Pull the hands to the feet that you extend on the wrist, then flick a toe. Reach straight back, keeping the hips closed or the shoulders and hips face the floor the whole time. Pull through, challenge that planche position or the wrist extension, and just a couple more each. As Lauren said, it's handstand class, so point those toes, pull through, repeat, find the middle, breathe, challenge yourself, and those shoulders are shrugging. So in our kettlebell practice, we'll keep those armpits low. Let's go one more time each here. But in the handstand, elevate the shoulders or shrug. It's a very strong position to have. This is my final repetition here. The hamstrings feel good. My wrists feel good. I'm feeling nice and strong. Then I'll place my knees down. I'll sit my butt back towards those heels. Then extend the hips. Then tuck the toes. Then find your tippy toes. And find your toe balance here. Ribs over the hips. Maybe a little tiptoe to help you find it. And then slowly return the heels to the floor. And always a little bit of a shake. How we doing? Checking in all the time. Is it time to have a sip of coffee? Or is it time to just lay on the floor and enjoy a little breathing, stretch, or roll around? For me, I think it's time to get into our handstand kick-ups. So Lauren will demonstrate her favorite entry, and then I will do mine after. The tripod kick-up, that's Lauren's go-to. Find your favorite and improve it. The kick-up, baby airs first. Just looking for little kicks, soft landings, amazing, and checking in on that extra load coming through those arms, shoulders, and wrists. For just a couple, get used to that upside down position. And Lauren's doing that nice little scissor kick as well, playing with that hang time in the air.
First time always wakes you up there. Next, we have that step-in entry, which Ian likes. So arms start overhead in the elevated shoulder position. He'll take one foot forward, finding that baby air, and maybe alternating that takeoff leg. As he goes here, he's thinking about getting up and over, as if to land on those hands versus attacking the floor at that 45 degree. As you stand back up, think about pushing the floor away, finishing with that wrist flick to bring yourself all the way back up to that standing position.
But we should practice those things that we like to do or are our favorites, but also those ones that are a little bit challenging. So Lauren, show us that step in, and then I will do the tripod. And again, at home, you're doing with one of us, this I go, you go style. Save your wrists, shake it out in between. And if you're kicking up with Lauren, up and over, toe points right away, shrug or elevate those shoulders right away, and accept that floor and push the floor away with the hands. Last one or two, you got it. About 5 or 6 reps is just a nice number to embrace that challenge and hopefully find your stride.
All right, so now Ian gets to do that tripod. So the biggest thing with the tripod, I like to feel my hands gripping the floor, then straighten my elbows, and then shift my shoulders over top of my wrists before I kick up. You'll find that handstand when you'll find that handstand line when your wrists, your shoulders, your hips, and your toes all align. The biggest part of that is your hips. So thinking about getting those right over top of the shoulders will help that.
Will help it out. So again, shake it out and always allow yourself that opportunity to check in. To break up those loads on those arms, let's just do another little size of squat, Lauren.
Okay, we're gonna do a slow-mo one. Feet underneath you. Slowly, I'll take out that mo. Press up to the highest high heels you can get on. Stand as tall as you can on your tiptoes and hold. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Brace your core. Now let's just reach our arms up towards overhead and pretend we're in a handstand. Just hold for 3, 2, and then pull those arms back down. Next, we're going to stay on our tiptoes and really slowly start bending our knees. Let's take 5 more seconds to get all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then let's take as many seconds as you can to get the knees to the floor with or without your hands. I won't count because I'm not sure what's going to happen. Oh, then extend those hips, point the toes out behind us, and sit back. Next, we'll extend the hips back through, tuck the toes, slow-ish to rock back. Stay on your tiptoes. Control that landing. Then push down on the floor to stand up. Let's also do this slow. 8 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, squeeze. Now keeping the knees ramrod straight, slowly press your heels down towards the floor. Keep your hips extended, keep your knees straighter for 3, 2, and land.
That was beautifully slow, Lauren. In the back, I didn't quite get the memo on that. That was a little bit quick for me, but always working on that control. We've checked in on those 2 kick-up variations. And again, whether it's the 3-point down dog, just the hollow shape without being on your wrists,
planks,
or being in that plank or tripod position, check it out. But Lauren is heading to that wall. So did you clear a space on the wall? If so, we'll be spending about up to 15 seconds here, representing a modest or low number. Taking your time, walking yourself face towards that wall, and not today necessarily, but getting as tight to the wall as you can. We're breathing. The hands are pushing down and the toes are pointing up. In 5 seconds or less, maintain your composure. Exit that with control. Lauren will probably be doing her cartwheel to the side, and again, a little bit of a shake. Building endurance and tension on the wall to have it show up in the middle in the handstand.
So don't feel if this is your first time getting to the wall that you have to get your nose to the wall. Get in a place that you feel comfortable, that you can get in and out of safely. And then slowly step in a little bit more and step in a little bit more. And that might take more than 15 seconds to figure out. So take your time, point your toes, grip with your hands, grow up to ceiling for 3, 2, and then safe dismount always.
Always. I think that we're feeling pretty good here for 2 in this I go, you go pattern. Check in with your body, take rest when you need, and if you're ready to go with Lauren, let's do it again. You could also be doing this type of exercise with your feet on an elevated surface like a chair anchored against the wall or another stable place, maybe like one of our windowsills here. Lauren's looking great, she's breathing, and those toes are even off the wall. It's another way we can challenge that, and that's definitely been our 15 seconds, so take your time on your dismount. Little shake, I go, you go, so follow along.
All right, Team Ian, one more time upside down. Hands start, slowly walk in, and try to maintain that hollow position as you walk into the wall. Let's go through the checklist. Hands are heavy in the floor. Push the floor away. Tuck under. Squeeze the cheeks. Point the toes to the ceiling for 3, 2, and then
And shake.
nice.
Sides to sit time again, and mixing up those sets and reps with opportunities to challenge your body without the extra demand on those hands. So Lauren, let's go slow.
Let's go slow. This time, let's have our feet flat on the floor as we start this slow activity. So from here, feet are flat. Bend your knees towards over your toes. Slowly, slowly goes. Then keep sitting back as long as you can. If you can't get any lower, stay where you are until we're at the bottom here and hold that bottom position. Then let's shift our weight forward, come up on the toes. Once the toes are up, super soft landing again in slow-mo. Extend those hips forward. Point the toes out the back. Sit back. If you want an added bonus here, let's try to extend the hips from here. So lead with the hips. Lead with the hips, bringing yourself back up. Then tuck the toes. Rock back in slowish mo. Heels down as soon as you can, as low as you can. Now 5 seconds to stand up. 5, 4, 3, 2, hips through, and then shake out.
Excellent. Let's go back to that wall.
Wall.
How's it going though? Does the wall feel like that appropriate challenge for you? Or are you planking, crawling, or checking in with your body any other way? Team Lauren's going up against that wall. And again, it's our first time doing this in a while together, so 15 seconds is the ticket, which is about 10 seconds more. The hands are open, they're pushing down. The toes are pointed, they're pulling up. In the middle, the ribs are connected to those hips, maintaining the breathing. And in just a couple seconds there, down with the word control. Shake and wiggle. Our turn.
Whew. Always get a little bit flush in the face after those. Take your time coming upside down again. Hands open, elbows straight, shoulders elevated, ribs connected, toes pointed, and breathe. And look at the clock. 5, 3, 2, and then dismount. Excellent.
Awesome. Okay, how does one more feel, Lauren?
One more.
One more. Always checking in, and Lauren mentioned the head rush or that flush face feel. Check in with that. It does take a little bit of time to get used to that feeling. And Lauren's back on that wall. Lauren has kept extending that task a little bit at a time. Hands are always firm, hollow shape is always there. And right now, the toes are on and then off the wall, and on and off the wall. And whether that's a one leg at a time approach or in tandem, check in, make it challenging, but always give yourself that way to finish with safety.
What's the time?
Yeah, finish with safety. Come on down. Just so good. You had such a big checklist there. I had to go through it all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, last time on the wall here.
Breathe. Good. We're working on 15-second intervals, and there I was chirping us for, let me down. But if you're really serious about improving that handstand, you need to work towards spending up to a minute or even longer on that wall. 3, 2, and down. Don't go trying a minute tomorrow.
Yeah.
but ease into that 15, 20, 30, 20, 15. Keep adding, keep building. But if you do want that in-space endurance, you need it against the wall.
Nice. Let's go back to the floor through that size of sit. Maybe check in with those splits one last time, and then we have that minute of craziness as you finish today's practice. So on that size of sit, I really like being on those toes, so find your safe way down, or right away, find your toe balance. Keep the heels away from the floor. We'll descend here, and the hip shape is a gentle cow, which is just like that anterior tip in the split. Then knees to the floor, extend the hips through, find yourself into your middle splits position here, and just check in again. Whew. And breathe. Lauren said it was about, handstand class, so point those toes. Sitting up nice and tall, just spend some time here. Lauren's active stretch there of pushing the heel and pulling the knee felt really strong, so let's do that again. Whether the hands stay in the front, they could do a quarter turn if you wish. Cramp the quad, heavy through the heel, and pull that knee towards the ceiling. Stay there, hovering that knee in a slight bend. Then repeat. Pull the heel down, maybe lift that knee a millimeter higher, and then gently extend. And again, it might open up and wiggle a little bit for you. Same thing on the other side. Cramp that quad so it's stiff and drive the heel in the ground, recruiting through the hamstring against the quad tension, and then just stay there. And fire the quad gently towards aggressively, pull down that heel again, and then low effort off, straight, perhaps a little wiggle, and then maybe one more time with pancakes, with whipped cream and maple syrup. No whipped cream? No. Jam? Jam?
Yeah, a little jammy jam.
Jam.
Raspberry, peach.
So, getting hungry, I think. So it's almost time to be done our practice.
Eggs and
but we
bacon.
do have that one more minute of craziness. So anyhow available for you, let's get back towards that tall kneel position here. Then, or squat up.
Oops, sorry.
And then just find your toes, stand on up,
Oops.
run out of that, shake it out. And the last move for today is that minute of craziness. So what's your goal, Lauren?
To get upside down.
Get upside down. Right.
It's a good goal.
Good goal. So we have 1 minute on the clock. Fill as much of it as you can in a safe capacity, in a crawl, in your hollow, or in this handstand. Let's go in 10 seconds. Visualize success.
Visualize.
Visualize first. And in 5, 4, 3, take your time, step in as you wish, and go for it. Ooh. And again, Lauren's looking great. And if you had a little misstep, take time to reset and do it again.
When did we start the second hand?
1:45.
Okay, that was okay. About 30-ish seconds. I'm going to call that a day on my upside downs, but we're at 45 seconds here into this minute. Take your time.
Excellent. So we hope that you enjoyed today's workout. Bodyweight practice, handstand practice, simple strength techniques for you to do at the gym or with just a little bit of space, at home. This concludes our week. This is our Saturday. On Thursday, we train with bar. On Tuesday, we
do kettlebell class.
Kettlebells.
So we have a Tuesday at 4 o'clock class live on YouTube, but anytime thereafter in the archive, where we've been working always on our get-ups, because who doesn't like a good get-up once a week, followed by some cleans, some swings, some presses. So stay tuned for that workout on Tuesday, and our workout at the bar for hips, and as well as a little more pressing in there on Thursday.
Excellent.
Until then, check out our website, check out our Patreon page. Make sure you like and subscribe as well.
Tell a friend, tell a family.
As well as take care.
Stay strong.
And we'll train soon.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.